Hello, dear children. The adventures of the clever fox and the yellow chicks continue. This second adventure tells the story of how the fox became a mother to the little chicks. Sit back, listen carefully, and keep your eyes on the fox. Let's begin. The fox and the chicks were living a happy life in the mountains. The fox kept bringing wheat and corn for the chicks, taking care of them just like a mother. As the chicks grew, the fox started taking them outside for walks. She showed them that there were other things they could eat too. One day, while they were out, a hunter saw them and started chasing them. The chicks and the fox trembled with fear. The fox calmed them down and said, "I know a shortcut. If we take it, he won't catch us." They started running. Soon the hunter's voice faded away. When they reached the fox's den, they finally took a deep breath. One of the chicks said, "I will never go outside again." The others replied, "Why not? We just won't go too far and everything will be fine." The fox explained that it was dangerous for them to go out alone before they were big enough. She also told them that hunters weren't the only dangers out there. The chicks asked what other dangers awaited them. But when the fox found it hard to explain, she couldn't tell them that some animals, like herself, might try to eat them. From that day on, the chicks stayed close to the fox's den. They lived a happy life, far from danger. However, as the days passed, they started having questions. They kept asking their mother, but they never got a clear answer. Even though they were growing bigger, they still didn't look like their mother. In fact, the birds singing in the trees looked more like them than the fox did. Besides, their mother had never eaten wheat with them. Whenever they ate wheat, the fox would say, "I already ate outside." If they didn't even eat the same food, something didn't seem right. But they didn't know how to solve the mystery. One day, their mother went out to gather food. A little while later, they heard a voice calling them from outside. The chicks never went out when the fox wasn't home, but the voice was very persistent. When they realized it wasn't someone who wanted to harm them, they opened the door. It was an owl of the mountains. He was known as the messenger of bad news. With a serious tone, he said, "I have something to tell you. I have kept this secret for days, but I can't hold it any longer." And then he began to speak. The chicks were shocked. One of them said, "I told you all before." Another one objected, "No way, he's lying. He just wants to make us sad. Don't you know? He always upsets everyone with bad news. Besides, if he was telling the truth, the fox would have eaten us already. But instead, she took care of us, fed us, and protected us from harm." The other chicks agreed, but that didn't change the fact that the fox wasn't really their mother. The owl told the chicks, "Go and find your real family." Then he even gave them directions. One of the chicks got angry and pushed the owls outside. As the chicks wondered what to do, the fox came home. They had all agreed not to tell the fox anything. The fox noticed their sad faces and asked, "What's wrong?" The chicks answered, "We're just a little bored, that's all." As they ate the wheat the fox had brought them, they kept whispering to each other, "This can't be true." The fox couldn't understand why they were acting so strangely. After a while, she fell asleep from exhaustion. The chicks' curiosity about their real family grew stronger. They couldn't hold it back anymore. They made a plan. Tomorrow, when the fox left to gather food, they would set off to find their real mother, who knew how much she had missed them, who knew how much she had suffered without them. They had to find her as soon as possible and end the longing. One of them asked, "But what about our fox mother? She will be so sad when we leave." The others replied, "She must face the consequences of her actions." As they whispered to each other, they slowly fell asleep. The next morning, excitement filled the air. They couldn't wait for the fox to leave, but deep inside, they also felt sadness. They had spent so many beautiful days together. They had hugged her, thinking she was their mother. For a moment, they wanted to tell her the truth, but she might not let them go. Instead, they hugged her tightly one last time, as if they would never see her again. The fox was confused. "It's not like this is my first time going out to get food," she said. The chicks answered, "We just want you to know that we love you no matter what happens." The fox smiled. "I have to go now. I'm getting late." And with that, she left. But the chick's strange behaviour stuck in her mind. "I'll figure it out when I come back," she thought to herself. As soon as the fox was gone, the chicks set off. They had no idea about the danger waiting for them on the way. But no matter what, they were determined to find their family. On her way back home, the fox felt an uneasy feeling inside. When she reached her den, the chicks were gone. Had they wandered off while playing outside? She started searching for them, but she couldn't find them anywhere. The owl, feeling victorious, shouted at the fox from a tree, "I told them everything. They left to find their real family. This is how I got my revenge on you." Long ago, the fox had once tried to eat the owl and injured him. The owl had barely escaped and had waited for this moment to bring the fox down. The poor fox was completely shocked. She had never expected this to happen. She had planned to tell the chicks the truth one day, but not yet. They were still too young to understand. Tears rolled down the fox's face. She was scared that the chicks would be eaten by predators on the way. She started searching for them. She even went to the chicken coop, hoping they had already arrived, but there was no sign of them. Heartbroken, she returned to her den. She already missed them so much. "I deserve this," she whispered to herself before falling asleep from exhaustion. Maybe in her dreams she could still be with them. And so the second adventure came to an end. Will the fox find the baby chicks? Let's find out in the next story.